Good morning, everybody. It is Sunday, April 5th. I just got off the highway. I was riding for about, I don't know, an hour and a half maybe. And just getting off road here. I am in Oregon. I'm kind of between Blue Lake and Hoodoo. And I'm south of Highway 22. And heading back to a spot where I've explored a little bit, but typically this time of year there's snow back here, and it's hard to get a Jeep or a motorcycle back here. But this year we didn't have a lot of snow, so I'm optimistic. I've seen a little bit on the highway, like on the side of the highway coming up, but I think it's going to be mostly clear. And back in here there's some small lakes that I've camped at before. I'd like to get some camping in the next month or so, and kind of looking for some spots. These spots down here can be pretty popular once the weather starts getting real nice. So I had to turn around a minute ago because when I came around this corner, it was just such a beautiful view. I wanted to get some drone shots. I don't know if the camera is really going to do the mountain any justice, but perfect day for a ride. Well, almost perfect. It was actually a little cold on the pavement coming here. On part of the highway there was some de-icer. It's always a little unnerving when you come around corners and there's shadows and de-icer and it looks either wet or icy. A little bit of mud back here, a little bit of snow. Overall just super passable. A while back they went through here and they actually trimmed like all the brush on the sides, which I don't know, I guess it's good and bad, you know. I feel like sometimes when the roads are narrow it kind of keeps some people out that otherwise wouldn't come back here. On the gas today, it's doing good. Outside of no wind protection on the highway, so gets a little old riding at 65. A little bumpy through here. So I sold the Norden, and I'm kind of contemplating what bike I want to get next. I kind of like having two motorcycles. So there's this red lava rock that's naturally part of this road. It's a little rocky through here, but that red rock is what they use for kind of as a, you know, in the place of like salt or sanding roads. In Oregon, they pretty much use either de-icer or that red lava rock. Alright, so now that the drone's not falling, we can pick up the pace a little bit. That thing, you gotta kind of go slow because it'll fly into trees and whatnot. A little bit of water runoff. A little bit of a puddle here. Well, that was deeper than I thought it was going to be. That would keep the passenger cars out of here anyway. Yeah, so like I was saying, I sold the Norton and I'm thinking about getting another bike, but I'm not sure exactly what I want. Probably something that is either bigger than this or smaller. I don't want another bike that kind of overlaps too much with this. Well, this is awesome. So this is actually a camping spot right here. I've seen this one before, but the only thing I don't like about it is it's like right at the end of the road, kind of like the road tees right here. So if people were out and about at night, they'd be shining your lights in the, on your tent and right in your campsite. So even though this has a great view, I probably wouldn't camp here unless it was like one of the only open spots. All right, a little bit of snow on the road. Here's another spot. Not much of a view from this one. And I'm not seeing a whole lot of fresh tracks right here, so my guess is I know there's at least one or two more spots up here. My guess is that nobody's back here. We'll see. Oh, there's a tire track. Someone's been back here since it snowed anyway. I really like this spot a lot. Usually when I come up here with decent weather, it's taken. There's a lot of space. I mean, it's a little sloped in most of the areas, but it's not too steep. You could probably put a tent right up there and wouldn't have to worry about rolling out of bed, so to speak. Now what's interesting is someone has they ran the brush cutter down here. I didn't even know that there was a road here. I don't think I've been down here before, so we're gonna check it out. Yeah, that brush cutter thing that they have is freaking gnarly. It will chew up small trees. Wow, this is pretty steep, so hopefully we can get back up this. But I'm guessing they cleared this out for a reason. Holy moly, there's some mud. Oh man. What the heck? So this ties into kind of the main road is what we just crossed over. Huh, who would have thought? All right, well, now we know. Well, I don't know, what do you think? Go up through the muddy, woody section or back around? I say we go up it. Oh, but I got to turn my traction control off, because if I don't, I'll get screwed up. All right, I think we're good. Glad I turned the traction control off. Awesome. All right. So down this way, there's another spot on the right. Camping spot, I know that. Little snowy. We'll take a little break. It's nice out. All right, so we're on to the next lake, and there's probably at least a half a dozen very small lakes. Some of them are, I don't even know if they qualify as lakes. Some of them are more like ponds as far as size goes. All right, so this is one of my favorite little lakes here, and I haven't camped in this spot right here, but I've camped in the one next to it. But I saw when I rode by there was someone in there, so I don't want to disturb their peace. Another awesome spot. This one actually has a lot of room for multiple vehicles if you wanted. So pretty cool. And the other spot that I've camped at before is right down there where that blue truck is. I'm not going to head down there. That's I think I made a video about that spot before. All right, so I think back here there's something. Let's see what that sign says. Link Lake Cutoff Trail or something. A little bit of snow here. Snow and rocks and mud. Little sideways. Oh, that's fun. Oh, awesome. Now, I don't think I've ever been able to check this spot out. Another nice little small spot. One thing I am liking what I see as far as the cleanliness. It seems like people are doing a better job cleaning up after themselves. Fire pits are nice and clean. There's a few exceptions, but pretty cool. Alright, well, it looks like there's going to be a bit more snow through here. This actually seems like it's kind of fresh snow, like it's kind of a little powdery, so we'll see if we can go up here a little ways. I don't know that I've been up this way very many times, so we'll check it out. Oh, a little squirrely. Yeah, there's probably like 3 or 4 inches right there. Alright, so we're at kind of a T right here. I think I'll go to the left, if we can make it. Another puddle here. The reason I say I'm not sure exactly where I'm at is because the map doesn't always update if it doesn't have satellite connectivity. So I'm looking at the map and the little triangle spaceship looking thing is not moving. Well, now that we've got some open sky, the satellite should update here. Oh, I know where we're at. Well, this is not a lake. It's a lake of frickin' lava sand stuff up there. I know you can go out there. But, oh, yeah, it does go out there. I don't know. What do you think? I hate riding in sand, but let's check it out. Alright, I think I'm going to go through this water crossing again. Kind of a rocky section there. Got this?
This opens up to that meadow still, right?
The one with the sand?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you go up here, it'll tie into a trail and you take a left.
Got it.
That's where I just was like half hour ago.
Sand mushy out there or no? Not too bad?
No, it's not too bad. There's some other rigs out there, so if you get into trouble, you could probably just flag them down, you know.
It's cool.
But a little bit of a technical spot right up the hill where those rocks are.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's not bad.
My thing is I'm a little too wide for some of these places, but I think
Yeah.
the wife's got it.
No, I think you got it.
Yeah.
I went through 3 times on my bike because I wanted to set up a camera.
Dude, it's beautiful out here. This is the best time to get out here.
Yeah.
Before summer gets here, and it's just a nightmare.
Yeah. All right, man. Well,
All right,
have a good day.
one.
All right, I know where we're at. There's another lake right here. Yeah, I almost camped right here one time, but the time of year I went, there was a whole bunch of mosquitoes. So walk out there and check it out. Beautiful. And last time I stopped here, there was an osprey circling above, which means there's probably some fish in here because they exclusively hunt fish in the water, so to speak. They dive down and dive into the water, grab the fish, fly out. This spot's pretty clean. Someone left a can here. I'm going to do my part. And I'm just loving the amount of moisture in the dirt. I mean, it's a little bit slippery, like I said earlier, but it's wonderful. If I remember right, up here there's a section that's kind of in a low area without a lot of drainage, and it seems like every year it gets pretty deep, and the road goes right through it, so we'll see what it looks like. Judging from some of the other little water crossings, I'm guessing there's going to be a bit of water in it. Oh yeah, so I think this might be it, the spot that always gets a lot of water in it I was talking about. It's not bad on the edges, but it is pretty rocky through here with some decent sized rocks. So if you hit one of those, it'll throw off your balance a little bit. So as you can see, the terrain's slowly changing just a little bit. This has got a lot of washout from snow melt or rain or something. Normally I'd probably be going a little bit faster, but I got the drone behind me. So we're actually a ways away from Cache Mountain. I'm not gonna film the entire time, but thought this might get a little technical going through here. It's actually a little bit harder to ride super slow through this than to keep your momentum up. All right, so I'm at the base of Cache Mountain. At least most people consider this the base. So the road that's off to my left, there is the road that goes up. There are a couple other interconnecting roads, but for the most part, this is kind of the start of the climb, so to speak. So I have a feeling this is going to be primo as far as the riding conditions, and we'll see, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So some of the challenges going up here for maybe bigger bikes would be sand, and then towards the top some loose rock. And there are some technical-ish sections for bigger bikes, but I think if you just pick your lines, that really that's the smaller issue. I think more people are probably affected by losing their momentum and getting bogged down or kind of off track in the sand, maybe the rocks towards the top. Anyway, the reason I said I think it's going to be primo is because there's moisture in the dirt, but it's not, it's not super muddy. There's a few patches of snow there, but we can just avoid those. And in the middle of summer, this is really a dusty ride going up here, especially if you're behind some people. A lot of this you could probably, sit down if you're a sit-down rider, or you can stand up. It really depends on what you're comfortable with. The gas actually has pretty tall gears for an enduro. And I've got the stock gearing back on the bike right now. And I'm in second gear right now. I mean, I'll probably stay mostly in second gear, maybe shift down to first on some of the technical stuff. I did turn traction control off. Doing that on this bike is it's kind of finicky, like you have to hold the button for a few seconds and then you have to let off the gas. It's just a little bit of a pain. So anyway, this through here is a little sandy, not too bad. Some technical rocks up here that literally, you can just with those ride around them. There are some square edge rocks in here, so you kind of want to be careful, especially if you're the type that likes to air down off-road. Not a great place to have a flat. There's not too many places to pull off. I will say, again, like I'm seeing some evidence of them coming through here with the gnarly brush cutter. I don't know if you can see like all the wood trimmings in the middle of the road. So here you're going to want to stay to the left. That's where one of the roads ties in. Go up here through the rocks. The standing position for me on the gas is, it's not bad, but the bike doesn't fit me in a way that I just like want to stand up all the time. So I do find if it's not too technical, oftentimes I'll just sit down going through stuff, but people probably make fun of me. I don't care. A little bit more snow. Now there are a lot of side-by-sides that like to go up here, and even Jeeps, so be aware of that. I always try to pull off if I have room. It's a lot easier for a motorcycle to pull off. Those bikers that we saw earlier, wouldn't surprise me if they had made their way up here. I don't know the distance going up here. I mean, if I had to guess, from where I was indicating, hey, this is the base, I'm gonna say maybe 3 miles. But it's, if you're not in good shape, or not used to riding super technical stuff, you might be a little out of breath by the time you get to the top. But found neutral there. See, like that section back there was some gnarly rocks, but I was able to just kind of go up and around them. So now this section, it kind of has some medium-sized rocks, which can cause you to lose traction a little bit. So just try to keep your momentum. Of course, ride within your skill set. And then once you get up here a little further, it kind of starts doing this corkscrew thing where you're on the edge of the mountain, so to speak, but you're corkscrewing around to the left, and there is some exposure, on the left, meaning some sharp, on the right, some sharp drop-offs, but it's not like a cliff. I think if you fell off, you probably would be fine. But getting your bike back up might be a different story. All right. Well, I wasn't expecting snow up here, but all right, so got through that. I think what I'm going to do is try to get up on the left side there where there's no snow. All right, made it. And this is kind of that loose gravel I was talking about, so the rear wants to keep kind of losing traction. All right, momentum. All right. Right now we're in that loose gravel, and I am winded from that snow section. I apologize. But we made it. All right, look at that. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Just made it up to the top of Cache Mountain. As you can see, it's a beautiful view in all directions. We'll take a quick walk around here and show you. There was a little bit of snow, just the last section. Got a little dicey, but was able to make it up. I think going down will be a little bit easier. At least if I remember to turn the anti-lock brakes off for the ABS. I think the lakes right down there are Blue Lake and Settle Lake. Got Black Butte straight ahead there. The Sisters. Pretty awesome up here. If you're in a Jeep or something and wanting to come up here, I'd probably wait just a couple weeks. Unless you have lockers. Those icy sections are not bad, but there's a bit of exposure off the edge if you get sideways. So, all right, I'm going to get packed up and start heading down. All right, so just heading back down. I did remember to turn off the ABS and the traction control. Sometimes it's nice being able to lock up the back wheel if you need to. So yeah, much easier going down. Yeah, so the other thing is there's a lot of, there's kind of some erosion in these ruts. So you really would need a high clearance Jeep if you're coming up here anytime soon. I'm sitting down and riding lazy. I'm getting kind of tired. Yeah, so the views going down are awesome. Like when you come around almost every corner, there's a massive mountain. Wow, that's amazing. So I'll stop up here. The mountain to my left is starting to get some amazing light over there and some clouds. What a beautiful day. It actually warmed up. I'm thinking it's got to be like 60 degrees, and I ended up taking my liner out of my jacket. We'll see if I regret that when I get back on the highway, but especially after going up the Cache Mountain hill, it's a little bit of work. It's definitely a lot easier going down. Oh yeah, so I started to talk about maybe getting another bike earlier, and I'm thinking I might get an Aprilia, a Touareg 660 Rally. Size-wise, it's kind of a medium-sized bike. It's definitely lighter than the Norden, probably by, I'd say 60 pounds. But it's definitely heavier than this by probably almost 100 pounds. But what you get for that is, better road manners and probably a little more comfortable on the road. But I'm sure you would sacrifice some off-road capability compared to the gas that I'm riding today. At least the way I ride. I'm sure someone else probably wouldn't have much issue. So when I go to head out towards home, I think I'm gonna take a different route than I came and go by Big Lake, Hoodoo area. There's a road that kind of comes out by Highway 22 there. All right, so we're taking a right here. And I gotta say, I know I keep saying this, but the amount of dust is very minimal, so I'm enjoying it. Speaking of side-by-sides, there was one right there. Alright, so when I pulled onto the pavement, I slowed down to turn the ABS back on and noticed that the check engine light was on, and then as I was slowing down, I thought I heard some clicking noise, but I stopped and looked. I didn't see anything weird going on. Let me slow down and see if I can hear it again. Uh-oh. Well, we might have to take some trails back. I don't know where this goes, but we will find out. Holy moly. Yeah, that looks like it might get pretty deep. All right, so we're just coming back to Highway 22. Overall, a pretty successful ride. Found a new camping spot or two. All right, we'll see you next time.